Hey everyone, this is Prince Watercress, and welcome back to Let's Play WWF Royal Rumble for both the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. After 9 whole videos of showing off all the characters within both versions of the games, I am finally back on live commentary here. So this should make the rest of the videos I do commentary on a little more interesting. And for this one, I'm going to go off the beaten path, and I'm going to show off tag team mode first. Now, you can do one player, where it's just you controlling both guys on one team, versus 2 computer-controlled opponents. There's 2-player mode, where you have one team, your friend has another team, and you both go at it. And there's 2 players versus CPU, where you're both on the same side, and you take on 2 computer-controlled opponents. So I'm obviously going to do 1 player. And just like one-on-one, you also have brawl and tournament modes for this style of match as well. And I'm going to go with 1 fall, as per usual. I'm going to set the difficulty to 7 here. And I'm going to let the computer choose the opponents. Now, I can't do Money Inc., sadly, because DiBiase is on Super Nintendo and IRS is on the Genesis. And I would have to be on Genesis in order to do Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan just for fun. I may do that after this match. But what I can do is do a team that was basically non-existent by the time this game came out. So, obviously, thanks to the power of the Super Nintendo exclusive characters, I'm going to do Ric Flair, and I'm going to do Mr. Perfect. And who am I going to get for opponents? Well, I got Ted DiBiase, but it definitely ain't going to be with IRS. The Undertaker. They may well have just used a fake Undertaker. Let's just pretend he's the fake Undertaker. Yeah, anybody remember that? That was something. Anyway, now that I'm finally doing live commentary on these matches, it should be a little more interesting. You'll get a little bit more reaction-based stuff, at least on the Super Nintendo, because, well, my computer won't allow me to do the same with Genesis, sadly enough. And if you need to tag in your other partner, just press B, either on Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, and then you can tag in your partner. Just use the control pad to move into the ring, and you should be good to go. This does get rather interesting, because for one, your partner can grab your opponent if he gets too close to your side, and in case you do a pinfall, oh, he ran into me and fell straight down. In case of a pinfall, you'll have the guy on the other guy on the other side breaking it up. If they can get close enough to it, that is. For best results in case of a pinfall victory, which you're obviously going to do anyway, you may as well just go ahead and do the pinfall close to your side. You're better off just doing that. That way, you have a little bit more time before your opponent's partner can break the count up. And, yeah, that's basically a case in point right there, what $1 Million Man just did. And we should be getting close to the red. Tagged in Mr. Perfect, but that's okay. I was going to use one of those 2 finishers anyway. And of course, I'm going to have to put even more of a hurting on the Undertaker now. At least I didn't have the trade blows that time. I know I set the difficulty to 7. I didn't know if tag team mode would give me more trouble on 7 compared to single. Or in my original case, 9. I was thinking about putting it on 9, but then I just tried, you know what, just go ahead and put it on 7. See what that does. apparently I mean to be doing real well, and I managed to get a headbutt in. That's nice. Can I attack him from here? Yes, I can. And we can just go ahead and get the perfect plex in. And we should be good to go. And the computer's not even going to try to break it up. I don't know why that is. Thankfully, the AI in wrestling games after this has gotten better. Also, the count appears to be slower in tag team mode compared to one-on-one for some reason. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, we won the match, and because we are part of a tag team, we don't get the theme of the person who got the pinfall. Instead, we just get the usual menu theme, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for tag team mode. And that's pretty much all I want to do for the Super Nintendo version. So, I'll see you on the flip side when I go to the Sega Genesis version. So, be right back. Welcome back. We've now switched back from the Super Nintendo to the Sega Genesis. So I can do another tag team match on the Sega Genesis. Much like the Super Nintendo, I'm going to be doing a Sega Genesis exclusive team. So, let's do a one-player tag team match, one fall, set the difficulty to 5, and let the computer choose the opponent. And I'm going to bring back the Mega Powers. So we're going to have Hulk Hogan here, along with Randy Savage. We're bringing them back for the first time in 4 years, people. And we're going up against Shawn Michaels and Papa Shango. So we got 2 good guys against 2 bad guys, which is a good thing, and a rather lucky thing, considering that we only have 12 wrestlers to work with on this roster. Wrestling games did not have big rosters back in the day. You only had so many characters, and you only had so many match types. It wasn't until around the late 90s, early 2000s that you really got to see your options expand. And then that huge expansion finally took place when the SmackDown vs. Raw series came out, followed by the WWE series and then the 2K series. So, we're basically at that point in time in video game history where we were slowly getting the ability, pretty much standard, to have either a single match or a tag team match. Of course, there were still games that didn't give you that choice, like WWF Rage in the Cage, which is basically an update of this one. I finally checked that game out, and only characters not returning from Royal Rumble are Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. Plus you have a few new characters such as Bam Bam Bigelow, the Head Shrinkers, the Nasty Boys. On the plus side, you do have all the Super Nintendo exclusive characters on Rage in the Cage. So that's a good thing. Well, except for Ric Flair, but again, he was gone by the time the game came out. There was no point in adding him. And there's really not much of a change between Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So, you don't really have much to worry about when you transition from one game, not one game, but one system to the other. Just remember that the Genesis version is much harder. I'm actually doing the vocals, the commentary for the Genesis side of this video about a week after I recorded it, and I've been playing the Super Nintendo version long enough so that when I try to set the difficulty to 7 and play on that, the game gives me a harder time than I expected to give me. I'm just so used to the AI, it's just a lot easier in Super Nintendo, and I've probably made that point a million times, but it's totally true. And we're about ready to reach the end of the match here. All we have to do now is to have Hogan hit that leg drop on the ropes. Shawn Michaels won't do anything because Papa Shango's energy is all the way in the black. We still have that longer count in the tag team modes for whatever reason. I never understood why that is. But we have finally won a match with the Mega Powers. And that's pretty much all she wrote for this part of the Let's Play. Join me next time where I do the triple tag mode. 3-on-3 action. Before WWE took the idea of a 6-man tag match and did it every week to the point where it was no longer special. Such a shame. Until then, this is Prince Watercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!